Well, mud.
Now, if the noise is too much, knock us out.
What's that?
If the noise
Are you gonna do a little speech up here? And then go out and look? Yeah. Okay, well I need to get where I can film
The traffic is just so heavy. Just unmanageable. Yeah, I did. It's close.
I got to,
if I face out that way, you're black. So you need to look this way.
I got to meet, a very interesting program that Alabama Power Company spokesman gave about economic development. He's trying to apply that to Eufaula and Robertson County. He got some very, very good points. And amazing, all the things that he's listed that you can do to help economic development. Four-laning the historic district was not one of those points. Over the past month that I've been involved with you on this issue, I have heard from 14 people who support Eufaula. Just 14. That's nothing. I must have heard.
What is their reason?
Interestingly,
I
they do
would
not
love to know.
state that they're for the ALDOT project and for the four-laning and list a reason or two. Here are some of the things that they say. Those old houses are a bunch of rat traps and need to be bulldozed.
they hate us. On their Facebook, they hate us.
The entire median needs to be paved, a right lane, turn lane needs to be put in, and the whole thing done away with, including the veterans.
Well, you
And
know,
then,
my question about that is, they say, I mean, this $2 million that these old ratty houses bring in every year, every 2 to 3. But tell me, ask the people south of town, what do they do to bring in money? What do they do? There's nothing out there but fast food places. Now you tell me what functions they have. But they're the ones that's for this.
some of them said, the people in the historic district and those who support them have had their way too long and need to be put in their place.
That's right. I'm in my place. I am too, and they're interfering with our place because they're not doing it. I mean, everything is north of town, the baseball fields, the swimming, everything. What are they doing to bring in money? People that live out there that want us so bad.
Some other things they said was, when North Eufaula Avenue is four-lane, that will bring in.
Oh.
Yeah, just like South Eufaula did. Right. Don't think so.
But Jim, don't they realize the people who live in these homes now, for the most part, are the new older couples, the people who had money when these houses were built, don't live here anymore. They live on the lake. They moved away. It's us that have bought old homes trying to keep them up and restored, that they're ones that are suffering, and that the people are just displaying hatred against. And they don't even know us.
Well, I think a lot of it is jealousy. I really do.
These are special houses for special people. They're not for everybody. And there's an argument going around town that nobody would raise a family here. There's kids being raised here right now. There's a lot of kids being raised on this street, and there will be in the future.
They tried to tell me it was a bunch of old fogies and Yankees. Old fogies
Well,
and
we
Yankees.
may be Yankees, but we won't get because we wanted to.
Well, they think because I like history, I should pull out all the electricity and put in an outhouse at my house. Go back to the past.
Because people live in these houses and they've been confused. I got news for you. I live over on Randolph in a house that I opened for 20-something years. Christmas and pilgrimage. I worked 3 jobs, my husband worked 3 jobs for that house. And if they wanted it, they could do it. They just want to gripe. It's jealousy.
They live on double wides.
The people in this town try to
Historical.
define the historic district, but they never ask the people who live here, how do they like it? And we all love it, I think. We love our houses because they're unique, there's no other thing like them.
I think in the past, years ago, probably before my time of coming to Eufaula, the city core, as they call it, those that were the powers that ran the city, did away with all their homes on South Eufaula and put in the 4-lane down there. And they're disgruntled about it, and they are blaming the residents that live here now.
But you didn't have any antebellum homes out there.
I don't know, that was before my
I was born and
time.
raised here.
But,
I lived here for 3 weeks one time and I came home, but you didn't have all of this out there.
no, but you had residential, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they feel like they've been forced out, and we've always had our way. And, I mean, we vote like everyone else. We have a representative like everyone else. And, I think our city council did us a big disservice by selling out for our taxpayer dollars to recoup in $300,000 and allow ALDOT to have complete control of the median out here with all discretionary spending to be approved by them.
We have here, we've got Rebecca Beasley, the Honorable Lord Mayor of Clayton, Alabama, and also, more importantly, the publisher of Clayton Record. And we've got Mr. Rebecca Beasley, Cousin Billy Beasley here, and who else? What extinguished politics?
The mayor's not here.
Yeah, where's our devoted mayor?
Well,
He's like a retired feathering.
what we're gonna do today is, I want y'all to take me on a walking tour of the median, North Eufaula Avenue. And if anybody wants to point out anything particular, please do so. And what I already know I'm gonna be looking for is, number one, I want to see what they've done to the canopy.
What they've done to the
Canopy.
Show you, Jim,
And the
show you
root
some big
system.
limbs, some
Two.
big cuts, or some big limbs with these.
Two, the roots
Yes.
of these
That's the
precious trees.
scary part to me.
You might be driving along and they'll follow.
We got those covered up with plastic. We'd have to move the plastic.
I have moved it and taken pictures, haven't you?
I've measured that street 100 times since they started widening.
Three.
They're awful, but it's
The 3 feet on each side that they're scraping and preparing to pave. When you take 6 feet off of that median, you have really done it an injustice. And I want to
It actually went almost 5 feet on both sides.
Jim, it's not even that, it's the trucks. The trucks are cracking, over the years, the windows at the front of my house have all got cracks on it, and I know it's from the truck traffic rattling windows. And that's going to get worse. You build it, they'll come. We made a 4-lane, there's gonna be more traffic.
It doesn't resolve the problem.
No.
Who wants to investigate, we need a little subcommittee here. I want to investigate a report.
You all will be quieter, then we'll be able to hear him.
That's right.
And that's why we're here. That's why we're gathered, to hear how he can help us.
We'd like to have a little subcommittee to investigate a report that the traffic signals may have been altered to be timed badly during the several months prior to this project started, so that the traffic situation would be worse than what it has been. Who would like to serve on a subcommittee and find that out?
Absolutely, I got video of it prior and after, at each red light, that we can match up and show exactly how they've changed in the timing.
Okay, and two, it may be the same subcommittee, the possibility that simply improving the timing of the lights would substantially solve the traffic, whatever the traffic problem is.
Absolutely, it would have.
Kind of the converse of the
Yes.
first thing.
We still have a problem of people backing out of their driveways. Some people can't turn around in the backyard. They have to back out of this driveway.
Now,
How are you going to do that? I mean, when you're walking around looking, tell me how one can back out. Even if this car stops, you still
and
got this
semis aren't
lane
gonna
going.
stop. So we'll point that out to you,
I
Jim, as
mean,
we go
yeah.
along some of these homes that are in trouble.
FedEx
And then
can't.
they've also lost all their parking along the area, especially in front of the Episcopal Church down there where the elderly people would park so they could get to the church. Now they're gonna have to have a much larger walk to get there. There will be no parking for them, just on the side streets.
Don't remind me to forget to put that on the list in the report. Okay. Now, as far as the taxpayer issues involved in this, number one, we're able now to substantiate that there was federal money available for the entire project. We're talking about $1.3 million. But AlDOT did not pursue that money, and instead spent $1.3 million Alabama taxpayer money during a time in which our revenues are projected to be $270 million short for the next fiscal year budget. Trying to save every dollar that they can, and yet they spent $1.3 million here unnecessarily. Now why? Because federal money would have required impact studies and input from the community, and they did not want to do any of that. And so they bypassed all of that with federal money. That's the first thing. The second thing, I'm trying to quantify how many billions of dollars have been spent over the years in planning, engineering, and right-of-way rights for Eufaula bypass. Now, that money has just been flushed down the toilet. Four-laning North Eufaula Avenue is only going to give minimal relief to their traffic problem on 431. And the bypass will shortly be needed anyway. So that the taxpayers of Alabama are going to end up paying for two projects when the bypass alone would have handled the traffic problem. Eufaula widening will not happen. It's going to be very temporary. This was somebody's good idea of the month. And
Cooper. John Cooper.
Yes.
that's not what Coach Dodd called it.
I'm in mixed company too.
Jim?
Yeah, and the governor didn't help. He spoke out of both
You're paying
sides.
tax. You're paying tax.
Supposedly, this outside lane is 16 foot tall. All the trucks supposedly gonna stay in that lane, and the cars in the inner lane. It remains to be seen whether that'll happen, how much signs they'll put up, but theoretically, it's not supposed to have one truck passing another. But I can sit on my front porch and wait and see. But that's the theory.
Jim, one other thing real quick too, for everybody to know. AlDOT is not through with us. AlDOT also has their sites on North Randolph. And what they've already done the engineering and the plan for that to create a one-way southbound this way and a one-way northbound on Randolph. Now, the reason why they think they can do that is it is a connector road. It connects to 82. Remember in all this discussion?
Yeah,
Connector
the
road,
connecting
connector road.
links.
That is a connector. You do not have to have a connector road butt to butt. It's any road that goes to that highway from the side, from the angle, from the middle, doesn't matter. That's a connector road. The other piece of this is that he already knows how our weaknesses and our strengths in this town, and I'll leave it with that. Okay? He already knows the players. The other piece of this is if he is able to get that and do the load bearing that's needed on that highway, which he now is going to cost about $1 million, he probably could justify not ever doing the bypass. And then now that's dead, the truck route's dead, and we'll always have semi-trucks going through here. The other piece of this that's important to know is that he has already figured out how to go around those federal laws. So he's now, where we were able to say, why'd you stop and segment this? You won't have that fight on that one, because he's already done it here.
That's what I meant to say.
He's already done it there.
There's my street.
So the MO has already happened. So if you think this is the end, we're now fighting for that road. We're fighting to get the wrongs righted here, but we're fighting for that street right now. Do not put your head in the sand, because he will do it while the mayor is still in place. He will do it while the governor's got
That's
his
exactly
ear.
right.
He will do it while he's got the engineering. He will do it now. That is the way he works. That's the way this man works. Trust me on this one. We're fighting for that road now, because what's going to happen is we will lose the whole historic district, and very quickly, if we don't. Okay, go ahead, Jim.
Dee, I have a question on
Lock
that.
it up to you, buddy.
Although that's a connecting road, does the state trump the city ownership on that too?
They would.
They did right here.
They did here. We
Well, I
own
know
this
they did
also.
here because
We own this also.
They gave it
and we
away.
own- and they-
They're obviously
gave
can
it
give anything
away.
away that they want to give
Yeah.
away.
they wanted to
Right. Now, the
recoup
city
some of their
attorney
dear taxpayer
misrepresented
dollars.
that
And they're
law,
already,
but she would do it
live over
again.
there, they're already driving 65 miles an
Now,
hour.
Oh, I know.
that's the other thing. With them blocking this road the way they do, they're testing it. They're testing their plan right now while they're letting those trucks go down there on those highways. We had semis going down there the other day.
Yeah,
Once you got a sign, they were down it.
yeah.
Okay.
Now, we need
Yeah.
another subcommittee. And you can't be every subcommittee, you've got to delegate to yourself.
I don't want to be. Somebody jump up.
If I had the wherewithal, I would do some of it, but I don't know how to track all this information.
I can help you research.
See what I mean? She's gonna be on every subcommittee.
Hey, I'll delegate, but I'll keep doing it until somebody else jumps up.
I'll work with you, Dee.
All right, so. All right.
That's a subcommittee.
On the traffic lights, Bruce.
You have my picture on your Facebook page, you know.
I've got several comments about that.
It's a freebie.
Y'all are formally organized, a regular meeting group.
We were. I don't
Yeah,
know if
we've
the
kind of
city
disbanded.
is-
It was a Save North Eufaula project.
Yeah. Maybe we should say Save North and Randolph now.
Yeah.
Add an R. Add an R to that. Snoria.
Well,
Yes.
I have found out just a couple little positives since I've been here. And one is that the roots of the trees, when they had to be cut, were clean cut with a saw, rather than just heavy equipment coming in and just breaking them in whatever way. That's a good thing, according to the tree expert Pat Dodd, and everybody else that I've talked to. So that's one good thing. Second good thing is that there were some dead limbs from last year from the ice storm.
We had ice storm here in February.
That's about a year ago, and that in doing all this, they got those too. So at least there's some positive. We're not just writing up a totally negative report.
Well, the firm that did the canopy cleaning and trimming said that he would not touch the root system because he knew that everything would die and he didn't want that on his head.
Yes, he told me that as well.
So he allowed AlDOT to all that.
Now,
The
Jim,
bad news is that I did speak with Sherry after one of the meetings, and she did say that she was doing everything in her power to minimize the damage to the roots. However, that we would not know until a period of 1 to 5 years, 5 years total, how many of these trees we got. And she said they are putting in irrigation next to the trees to try to water, to try to save them if she can. But I asked her, I said, how many of these trees do you think are going to die? Do you think it's 75%? Like our two arborist reports show 75% or more? She said a substantial amount, a majority of trees will die.
Now, Jim, also, since that last news about the roots, they came through here and they cut them and did all that correctly. But then last week, they came back through with this machine that dug down deeper. So, because they have to do so much roadbed on the ends, on the end before the curb. And the reason why they did this, because I read the construction manual, they do this is so that the limbs don't come up, the roots don't come under underneath the concrete, and they go up into the road. So when they did that though, they chewed them. And they chewed 2 feet deeper just recently, and they went over 2 more feet. They were at 3 feet. They're at 5 feet now. Because they came through with that machinery that they said they wouldn't use, they used. So now they've cut deeper in the roots, and they went over 2 feet. So that's just an update. Sorry, I didn't tell you that.
So they've taken 5 feet from each side now?
5 feet up here.
I went to the pre-bid construction meeting that AlDOT held. They said this would be done in 3 phases. The first week or 2, the tree trim of the canopy would be done. He couldn't get to the next block before AlDOT was jerking up the curbs.
We have pictures.
The next phase would be the roots. And they did say they would use equipment similar to a concrete saw to get clean cuts. That may or may not have happened in every, they didn't use a backhoe, but clean cut I'm not sure of. Some of them came out and looked under that tarp after they started, and there were some roots that were 5 and 6 inches in diameter that were clean cut, but they were there. What else? And then the third would be the construction part, the paving part. But the thing that really struck me, AlDOT had this proposal out for bid. One company submitted a bid, Mid-South Paving, and they fund the T-Town PAC in Tuscaloosa that loves Bentley. Anyway, I'm getting political on this. The third phase was AlDOT said go down 14 inches, no more, for the roots. And the contractor said that's not possible. We need to go at least 20 because you have to get a good solid base of the road to support the curb structure. So AlDOT immediately said, oh, okay, let's make that 20 inches. Now this is the final bid process. They were to have bids in within 3 days on this thing, or a week or whatever, so they could hurry it along. But they didn't know jack of what they were doing. The contractors were saying, we're in this business and it needs to be handled this way. This curb won't be supported by that. So it went from a AlDOT projection of $600,000 to $800,000 to $1.3 million. And one bidder.
Coincidentally.
Yeah.
Closed it the next day.
Yeah, they received the bid and accepted it that afternoon. In by 10 and out by 4. You're our man. Let's get to work.
He goes out.
Jim, can you respond again? If I missed something, will there be a bypass? In your opinion?
They're saying no, but I don't think that's possible. I think there will eventually be a Eufaula bypass.
You can see how many trucks are coming by here. It's been a majority more trucks here ever since the Auburn, Opelika, and Columbus, and LaGrange industrial.
Well, I measured, there was only 33 feet out there to begin with. Not long enough when you get through.
We are told we now have given up our new it belongs to Alba. Are we going to be allowed to plant?
At our expense with their permission.
And you think we're going to get their permission?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, any money you put in the median is gonna be flushed down the toilet, because in another year or two, they're gonna take it all out.
Sherry Burchett
What's
has
the point?
extensive plans to decorate
Yeah.
the community.
She's gonna work
And the
hard
mayor's with her on
to
it.
make it a nice, viable thoroughfare, but that doesn't mean it's gonna protect it in the future.
Jim, in state auditor, this is something you ought to look into. I drive out of my driveway one morning, they're driving stakes in the ground, and I asked them what you're doing, and they said, we're doing a preliminary cost analysis. And I said, for what? For taking some of the median away. And then we come to find out there's 1.2 million already in the budget for the project. So somebody knows something in town that we don't know, and they're doing something that we had, I mean, they hit us blindsided as far as I'm concerned. From the very beginning, and it's snowballed, it's rolled on through, because they got their way. But I don't think people come driving into your town and start driving stakes down in the ground that nobody in town knows. I don't think that'd be normal behavior. But somebody knew it. But the point is, they already had the money set aside in the budget, and they're over here trying to find out how much it's going to cost. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
They surveyed this road at least 3 times that I saw them. Okay, it's a historical district, it is not gonna change from the first survey to the second survey. It's just like, it is what it is. But I saw them 3 different times do surveys out there. Why would they spend that much money? One survey should have sufficed. So they kept contracting the surveyor to come in, and that's a lot of extra money.
And we haven't been privy to any of the ALDOT reports. We furnished them 2 arborist studies and several other things, and they're not forthcoming with any numbers or figures to us.
Nothing.
And the other thing that really crawls in my craw, as long as I'm getting up on my soapbox, is we had several meetings. Our coalition had 2 meetings I can remember with Governor Bentley. And his classic remark was, and plus on a visit of his here, said, I promise no harm will come to Eufaula.
Red light, stop, that backed us up. Red light. The red light took us. Nothing backed it up, that
Most of
red
these
light.
people are going to the beach. It's gonna be the same way when they open the whole thing. Same amount of cars they got.
As soon as they get hit, they just.
As soon as they hit that red light, they broke down today.
I did, thank you.
Yeah, school's out today, so we're gonna.
Now, instead of looking at beautiful homes, they'll be looking at each other in the park.
Hey, Billy.
School traffic will not flow today because I know the public schools are out. So if that school traffic came through here starting about 3 o'clock, then you would see how the lights back up.
Why are these people not working? Anybody know?
I wonder why they're not here today.
Okay, well, let's start our little walk down the median. Senator VISIT, anything you want to say, we appreciate it very much for coming.
vindictive to us.
That looks like more.
So they're gonna have another apron on the other side. And that's why they cut it back so far. No, we don't want to get run over.
That was not
But
as
you can
well
see-
as
you can
put
see
that
that-
blacktop down in a hurry.
You can see they were gonna take 3 feet away,
Wait till you see the one over our house.
but they've actually cut back into 5 feet into the,
But look how close our trees are. You know, they're already tight in here.
well, they told us, and the agreement was that they were gonna take 3 feet on either side of the median. But as it is, it looks like it's 3 feet plus an apron plus a curb. So they actually went back about 5 feet on both sides, which we lost 10 feet instead of 6 feet.
Yeah, they're gonna pave it off. This is temporary right here.
I'm so powerful. I'm a mobile.
I can tell it. You got a car's coming.
It's okay.
Oh yeah, I'm ready for a hot dog, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. I had
Going down to Marty
Since they've had the Kia plant up there, we're getting some fun. Traffic coming, and trucks going both ways, taking product back and forth. Car carriers we never had.
Yeah, I grew up in Montgomery. I used to go to church. Same food, same. All the Theo was a young boy then.
This is a small tree, but you can see how big the roots are, and they're already coming out this way. They went down to about 20 inches with a saw and cut all the roots all the way down.
That is not a safety curve, that's not gonna be changed. Those semi trucks can pop right over that. They're not changing
And
that.
they're gonna be riding that side.
And they have to ride that side.
Another issue.
So they're not gonna they're just gonna do this little pathway going down the whole thing. And then, like I said, they were putting the safety curve on this side, but not that side.
Where will the lane line be?
Where will the median, the middle?
Main line?
There'll be 11 feet, there'll be 11 feet each, which is barely legal now for semi-trucks. It's supposed to be 12 feet
Some
plus.
mine marked in places. Down on that end, they got it marked. They got it marked in front of my house on that. And I'm 11 feet off of this side of that.
11 feet is right here. Oh, they'll stop.
Where did you do it? Where did you do it? Where did you place it? That end?
I came in a couple inches.
All right, we'll get it again. You got trucks coming back.
Now, it'll go all the way over.
The curb will be here, right? They're not taking any more grass out, right?
No. Goes there, one.
All trucks. Left lane. Be where we stand.
That's what I thought my car said. The truck, this one.
Well, the trucks are gonna ride that side. They're all gonna be on one. Oh, they
That's the ones they're taking. And then when they said it was dead, it was very little dead. Because I was out here when they were doing it. They did a little. But that big guy was not dead. We have a bunch of those all along the way. We have some that are facing this way that you'll see that, and look how high up that giant one is that they took. All they had to have done is trimmed it, and they took that big giant limb up there. I don't know what the yardstick showed here, but our house is 5 feet that they've gone in. What did the yardstick show here?
5 feet.
5.
It did.
Now what happens is when you get up here, you'll see this median is shorter now. Used to they'd come through here, they'd sit, and then they could push on across. Now when you have a big bus and stuff, they're not going to be able to do that, so they're going to have to gun it from one side of the road to the other through the median and 4 lanes, because they're not going to have a place to sit without semis sitting there with bottom or front or back. And there's one of those big limbs.
You know what the governor's done, an injustice to his our district and to the people, I think, to the people of the city of Hall.
Here, here.
And I think totally misguided us from day one. When I heard that he was going to do this, I called him one more time. His chief of staff and talked to him, wouldn't allow me to speak to him. He said, you tell Senator Beasley that I made my mind up and I'm not going to change it. So I knew it was a done deal then, but I was really surprised because all the meetings we had with him, he really told us he was going to work with us, and he never did. I'm just disappointed.
But he has a new jet.
He intentionally just.
He has a new jet.
$7,000 a month.
$80,000 a month he does. But let me say this. I'm afraid that since Mr. Cooper went with all state funds on North Eufaula Avenue, that he could jeopardize the future of the state in bringing down federal money because he violated the 106 environmental studies. He did that purposely. You know, he really should have had his hand tied right then. He went ahead with it.
Well, that's what we went to court about, though.
That's right.
And they didn't rule in our favor
That's right. That's right.
on that segmentation, which I
want
think
you to
is a
know
big
I'm
mistake.
gonna be here to help Jim Ziggler any way I can.
Yay, thank you.
Thank you.
New kid. That's my 11th day. And she's a lot longer than that, but I believe the government is fine, moderate, well-meaning man. Someone the advice that he's getting is terrible.
You gotta remember.
Hey, there goes his jet now. He's heading out of town.
Some of the government's advisors don't have enough common sense to organize a 2-car funeral. And
Our city is duplicitous in this too, not just the state. The city's probably more at fault than the Cooper.
Not
Well,
all, not all our council members. Not all.
No, not all.
No.
That was a spike vote. They took it out on
We only have
us.
one side here. A lot of the city is for this.
A lot of them don't give a hoot.
I know.
They don't come up here if they can help
I
it.
understand.
Most of the individuals I have talked to were in favor of the bypass.
Yes, me too.
Merchants are not.
Merchants would be for a truck route.
They were for
you think?
truck
A
routes.
truck route would be
They were in favor of a
beautiful.
truck route.
But they're afraid cars will take the truck route too.
They can, they're not
Merchants are afraid they'll
designated.
lose $1 because the cars will follow the truck. Instead
Designated truck route.
of buying hamburgers and fried chicken.
all right, well, let's walk. Let's go.
Let me ask. Oh, let me just take your camera out with me. Wouldn't you love it?
I got another one, just in case. Always keep a spare.
I'm new on this story.
That was not a dead limb. So even if they had only done one side, the tree would have compensated on the other side, but now they cut both sides. You want to go outside? Walking down, I want to show you a couple down here. Did you see the memorial? Your memorial. Let's go picture of the memorial. Do a gym at our memorial, a Vietnam memorial that's in our park. What's up, Mama? My son's almost dead. Take pictures now. Yeah, I want to take you down to the Vietnam memorial. Okay, if we don't get run over, Jim, we're going to go down here where those bulldozers are so you can take a picture of you with the Vietnam memorial. So see how teeny skinny those little curbs are? I'm terrified. Those trucks are going to come popping right over. Now we didn't say much about that because we were scared if we did, then they'd rip into that too, you know? So.
Look how close this tree is.
And you know that one's going. No,
That's gone. Our arborist said 70% of our trees.
Okay, see this? This has been 3 feet.
Yeah.
See how far they did? They're live. They're live.
So it's 10 feet. They wanted 12. Yeah. God, if they'd taken 12.
Yeah, so you think that'll lift? No. You think those will lift? No. There's no way. Well, there's our memorial. We'll try to get a picture of it in front of it.
Yeah, dude.
Mine's dead now. I might get one more picture of it. I don't know if you can get to it, but if we get kind of near it, I'll take it. Oh my goodness, you can't do that. Just stand right here, sweetie, and I'll just go across the street and get it. Now see, what happens is the light changes up there and that backs them up. They come through our area beautifully. We don't have a problem. They come through this as nice as they do. That red light stops them and then it all backs up.
These fences here are actually a hazard. You're trying to
Can't walk away, you can't see.
You can't see through them.
But you can't see when you're in trying to,
I'll try to do it like this.
see with all
Yeah.
discouraging. The tree canopy?
And one limb,
Hey, Jim.
they say it would.
Take a look at me, honey. Mr. Jim? There we go, I got a perfect shot. Yay, show me that nice smile, that grimace. There we go, that's what I wanted, that grimace. That grimace, give me that grimace.
All right, I'll take another one too, dude. Wait a minute, I gotta find the sketch.
Grimace.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Thank you. I can't find my camera
So,
battery.
am I correct that when Hurricane Opal came
Okay, let's go on
we
down.
lost some trees in some of this section, and that's why the canopy is not as visible in some areas of the
I don't
median
remember seeing a
than
bunch
they
of
are
trees
down that way.
I know they took 2 out that died right here. They were dead and
Right,
they took them out.
there
That was back
something that
20-something years
happened.
ago.
And that's why there's no canopy on this section of the median. But if you go down,
They don't get-
then you see.
Jim, you feel up walking down that way a little ways? Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. I want to show you something down there. I just want to get a picture of you with that.
I'm Bergen. Tell people I'm all I am.
Okay, Bergen.
I'd love to do an interview with you once you're done with the walking tour, if that's possible.
Glad to. You're in Dothan.
I am.
Don?
I come through here a lot. My fiance's in Auburn.
I have one. Does he need some back? No. Oh, okay. No, I just want to make sure he remembered to do that. I'll take one just in case. Yeah, you can. There you go. We'll make sure she has one too.
He just gave her one.
Perfect. Okay. We're gonna walk down this way a little way. I want to show him a couple more. they actually go this direction. So, okay, now look at that. Why would you cut some that go this
That
way?
went that way. Why do?
Well, look at that one right here. Yeah, I know, they're in and they're going the other way. Yeah, yeah. Why, they're not going across at all.
So this is their 11th day in office, huh?
It's about 2 feet. That's 11.
It's 11, okay. I'm gonna get squished, but 18 wheelers, they're gonna shoot
Right. 11. Is that the center line?
I don't know what's going to happen on that.
These are
You can't
gone,
measure it on that.
they're gone right then. Okay.
That's $300,000 worth of property. You know that?
I'm still with that one, but I'm very which, by the way, my roots went all the way over there. That was taken out.
Thank you again for coming, Mr. Ziegler.
We'll see you tonight. Okay, so we're gonna come. The canopy starts on more of the canopy starts on the next block. This is the tree. I mentioned this is an ancient tree, almost 200 years old. 180 years old. But the big canopy starts on up this way. They did take a few dead ones, but they're over exaggerating the amount of dead that they took. And of course, these little guys, they had onto the 14 feet.
Listen, when he was at that Alabama community meeting, and they said, yes, the governor has decided on this, I was afraid we were going to pick him up off the floor.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they didn't even call him.
They never called anyone to say the decision is fine. They didn't call the city, they didn't call representatives.
And then we waited till like a week or two after the election.
It was the 18th of November when they came down.
Now, see, these make sense. Those were canopying over. Thank you. Well, this is where the big canopy is on this part. Now, what I was told by Alba, the reason why they went after the meeting, is they couldn't do it on this side because then they would have been too close to these houses. Their new center line would have put them too close to the houses to be legal. So that's why they went after the parking. Now the trucks used to go in the middle of that lane, and now they'll be pushed to this side, to the right hand side. Okay, now. I don't know. It used to be 425,000. They lost $50,000. 160 something. Same way with my house, I put $1 million in it. I have 1.3 in it. And as soon as this happened, I'd be looking to get 500,000 probably. And then you've seen what's in my house.
The entire,
You're sweet. Okay, now see that limb right there? That limb is going that direction. It is not coming over the canopy.
It's taller than 16 feet.
And it's taller than 16 feet. So what we
Why
found.
would they have to take it flush?
Right, and that was not a dead limb. That you can tell that was a healthy limb there. You can tell by the color of it. So they took some that were going the wrong way too. And they came through here and did that. Now I get it if it's on this side and going that way. I get that. That could have been trimmed back probably. So I'm wondering all that survey money and all that other stuff that they did. They used to. They're not even coming over the canopy. They're going over there. They're going straight. See, I kept coming out here when they were doing it, and I saw them cutting. There was a little bit of exaggerated. It just wasn't. Okay. All right. You seen enough? You want to go in and have your interview, or what would you like? What would you like to do? Ready to go in? Okay. Was it Joanne? Where's your report? We'll go in our home deer. That's right. Then we can break our balloon. I'm gonna